Culture is it's the most important thing behind everything. I think technology management, everything what you do has really to do with culture. You have to feel it, you have to learn it. It's a DNA. Culture is something which has to be permanent. It has to be sustainable. It has to continue for a long time. The basic of the culture has to be the same from the beginning on until today.
Welcome to the first episode of the Straumann Group Culture and Coffee podcast. Today's episode kicks off with a very special guest, Thomas Straumann. Welcome, Thomas, the serial entrepreneur who found, among others, the Straumann Group, but also obviously other companies like the Medartis, very known orthopedic company here in Basel. Thomas Straumann joined us to share the story of how it all began and what he believes still matters most today in the light of preparing for tomorrow. But first, as we are about culture and coffee, Thomas, how do you like your coffee? Strong, light, short, long?
Long, light, but I prefer tea. So maybe we have to change the cups here. Culture on tea will be also nice.
Okay. Well, Thomas, to get started, many know your name, but may not know your story. Then in 60 seconds, may I ask you to introduce yourself?
Okay, 60 seconds will be a little bit short, but I try the best. Thomas Straumann. I founded the company in 1990 after a management buyout to today's Straumann Group. It was before called Straumann, also Straumann Holding, which the main brand was Sanchez at that time, orthopedics, and we had the dental business also running for about 10 years, 12 years, but just on a very, very low level. The major focus was orthopedics, then also a little bit of watch industry, material alloys, the almost special alloys. And after the death of my father, I decided to do something by myself, and that was the opportunity to split the company into two companies. Rudy Mark took over the orthopedic part and founded Stratec Medical, which became then Sanchez and Johnson & Johnson afterwards. And we started then Straumann with about 15 to 20 employees worldwide, turnover around 15 million Swiss francs. And I think until today we did a good job, and we had some fun during the last 33 years and 34 years, and I think we'll continue. I have 5 children. They are not in the company, only the oldest one. He is in controlling at Medartis. All the others are doing something else. I have some hobbies like horses, as you know. Maybe you've heard about that, a little bit driving racing cars and so on and so forth. And I'm somebody who loves the North Sea. I need water around me. This inspires me and gives me some inner confidence, some quietness. It's very important to me. So I'm a little bit a person who has to stay close to the water.
Nice. We have the Rhine here, obviously in Basel.
Yeah.
But for deeper water, I understand the North Sea, it's a very nice place.
It's an absolutely great place, yeah.
Then, let's deep dive really into it. And as this is about culture, I would like really, with your incredible experience, to deep dive into why culture does matter. Then if we go back to 1990, you are 27 years old. You decide to get this company started, which is a very small part of the family business dealing with dental implants. From where this kind of entrepreneurial spirit is coming from, and from where the confidence to get started on your own with only 25, I think, employees at that time is coming from?
I think I grew up in an entrepreneur family. My grandfather and my father were entrepreneurs. They were engineers. They were innovators, and that was our daily business. That was our daily business at home, at the table, or during dinner, or during lunchtime, already breakfast in the morning. So the company was always present, and I think this had a quite big influence on my personality and a little bit what I'm going to do. And I always wanted to build something by myself. That was from the beginning. It was absolutely clear, and I'm not kind of a person who sits in a nest and hatches eggs which have to be laid by others. So I really tried to do something by myself, and that was an opportunity taking the dental part of the old Straumann Group and to make something big out of it, because we just saw that it is a big opportunity to go into this field. It was just the beginning when dental implants really had the breakthrough on the market, and there were a couple of competitors, some good systems, but we had at that time a clear alternative to all the other systems with the non-submerged. I think that was really the chance to try something and to go for it.
Beside technology and innovation, how did you drive the culture of the organization at this starting phase? Very often we are saying the culture of the company reflects the value of the founder. Was it the case? And how could you tell us how was the culture at that time?
I think culture is it's the most important thing behind everything. I think culture is for me the foundation of sustainable success. My core values are respect, mutual trust, and allowing each other freedom. And this leads us to a culture that must be lived. This has to be daily lived. Culture has to be daily lived. It's not only something on a paper. You have to feel it. You have to learn it. It's a DNA.
Something which is interesting also in the different phase of a company development is that when the company is rather small, then you know everyone. You can influence culture directly by yourself. Now the company has been very successful, IPO'd in 1998, growing internationally. Then the amount of people joining was incredible. How have you been able to, as a CEO, but afterwards as a chairman, making sure that the culture will not be completely changing or at least diluted with a lot of people joining, and keep making sure that the key values were still there?
I think that was really important to have the whole group, everybody behind that, behind our idea, behind our vision, what we want to do. And as I said, just to understand our culture, our family culture, our company culture in general. And that was really good in our management team at that time until today. Absolutely, I can feel the same culture today as well. And I mean, it's just bringing these cultural thinking to everybody, top down, bottom up, doesn't care which direction. So everybody has to understand it. Everybody has to live about that on that. And I think this is the success of the whole thing. And everybody, as I said, board of directors, from the board of directors to really down to everybody, the floor cleaner, everybody understands what we're gonna do and what we want to do and what the name is standing for. And I think this is the most important thing.
Of course, you have that internationalization. We know that the company came also into some more challenging times. We had our difficult times after the financial crisis, 2007, 2008, bringing a lot of different dynamics into our industry. And the Straumann Group, being challenged to react to this. And we are also saying that we see culture in good time, but especially culture in tough times.
I think very strong. I think it was indeed not an easy time, as we all know. But I think we had two things. We had a very strong market presence as a company, and we had a enormous acceptance of our products. This helped a lot. And on the other side, we had a long-term commitment on our scientific background, on our scientific work, together with our partners, with the clinics, with the IGI. And this was also kind of a bridge, overbridging this gap. I think the most important thing was really during this time to keep these strengths which we had, and to communicate and to lift this also to the outside world, not only to the financial world, also to our customers, which was much more important. And I think just because of this strong culture which we lived, we had the chance to survive these bad times. And I mean, I think we came out of that even stronger as we got in. Yeah, absolutely.
Is there anything you see in our culture that should change or that should evolve to embrace the future and this ever-changing environment?
I think, as I said at the beginning, culture is culture, and it's difficult to change a culture because then you are not anymore the same as you've been before. So you have to follow your line, you have to follow your goals, you have to follow your culture, your DNA. Then we are recognized as Straumann, and Straumann stands for something. And I think, as I said, also we have to adapt step by step, little things. There's no question about that. But the core value has to be the same. So never touch the core value of a culture or of a DNA. This goes in the wrong direction.
And that's true that it has been pretty stable since inception around all, again, that customer centricity, that innovation, that entrepreneurial spirit, which is very important. And actually, I have a question on entrepreneurial spirit. When you look at our Straumann Group now, beside you as the founder, we have been able to successfully welcome a lot of other very successful entrepreneurs, like Dr. Tomé in Brazil with Neodent, like Bernd Gadum for Medentica, like Mr. Wang, Guizhen Wang from AlightStar. And actually, by the way, all of them are still with us and putting their energy to still helping product innovation and dental professionals. I think there are so much entrepreneur in the dental industry. Why do you think it's the case?
Okay, I think the dental market is a strong growing market. There's a lot of activities, and I mean, it's just normal. Strong growing markets they have. You will find some finance guys. You will find some innovators, and you will for sure find some entrepreneurs who takes the risk and to do something, to start something. But I think it's not unusual. But as I said, I think the dental market is a very fast growing market. But it's also another market. If you go to orthopedics as well, I mean, orthopedics is an established market for decades, for many decades. But there are still a lot of innovators around. Small companies started some with new ideas, new approach on the market, and new services, and so on and so forth. And most on these companies, there are some entrepreneurs behind. I just decided, hey, come on, let's do something. Let's try something. Let's do something different. Not as all the other doing. We would like to be different. I mean, if I talk to Dr. Tome, for example, I mean, it's always a pleasure to meet him and to have discussions with him about entrepreneurship. That's, for me, he's really of the really big ones.
Yes,
thinking entrepreneurial wise, yeah.
But it's also about taking significant risk at some point. What we are talking very often about allowing failures and then learning through failures. How it has been for you, or what are the things that did not go well, for example, that you learn from in order to be as successful as you are, which is incredible on two companies that you have been able to IPO?
I think as an entrepreneur, you have to learn, and you have to, normally you're a person then who takes risk, who really wants to do something and to form something. But on the other side, there is always a big risk. That's for sure. And you have to be ready to take this risk. And for me, it was always important to learn something out of that. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. We did some mistakes. We did some wrong decisions, but we corrected, and we did it then afterwards in a different way. We never did the same mistake twice, never, because it was too costly. That's one thing. I mean, everything costs a lot of money. That's why we did the IPO in '89. But I mean, that's just part of the business. It's just part of the game. Learning from risk, going into risks, and just try to keep them as low as possible. but it's not always like that. Sometimes you have to go through and let's say, okay, that's now we go into the tunnel. This one is really black, and we don't see the end, the white light at the end, but we go through that. We go through that, and through this tunnel, you have a huge learning process. And at the end, you're coming out, and you're really much stronger than before getting into the tunnel.
I think this is something that, on a personal perspective, I can say that I found always very remarkable is that you always had, and you still have, the long-term view. Then it's not about maximizing the short term, but being able to support management and the organization to look at the success long term and being able to do long-term bet that might, not potentially optimize the short term, but you have always that long-term perspective. From where this is coming from?
That was already my grandfather, my father. They always had the long-term perspective in front of them. They were really long-term thinkers, and said, not only come on, let's do that, and maybe tomorrow we have to change something. No, it has to be sustainable for the next 10, 15, 20 years, product-wise, whatever. And I think that was also, this had a big influence on myself. So I'm really a long-term thinker. I mean, you can see that I'm the oldest board member right now. So far, I'm the oldest one, really, with more than 30 years in the board. So that shows a little bit my way of thinking. That's my way of thinking, and not only changing here and there and everywhere, and just follow the line and make some adaptation a little bit. Okay, sometimes you have to go left, a little bit to the right, but you have to go back to your path and then straight forward.
In parallel to steering the destiny of the Straumann Group, I know you have a lifelong passion for horses, as you just alluded to at the beginning. And you are also very involved in supporting your daughter, who is a very promising young talent into the elite then show jumping, already part of the Swiss national team. Then I think as you are spending quite some time in this environment, what parallel could you draw in between that horse jumping competition and the business side?
Mm-hmm. That's a very good question. There are some parallels. I think with horses, it is a question how you handle them. You have to, as a rider, you have to focus on your team. It's a team, it's a horse, it's the rider. That's the major team. Then you have some other people which are acting around, and without them, it doesn't work. It's not possible to sit on a horse and just go into the course and make your line and hopefully you came out with zero thoughts. That's not possible. You need to have a plan. It's a short-term plan, but it's also a long-term plan. The short-term plan is to go into the course and make a plan. Think about which turn you have to ride, how many gallops you have to do, and so on. How to jump the obstacle, and so on. So it's a little strategic plan which you prepare by yourself, and it's the same in the company. Whatever you do, if you go into a development process for a product, or if you're going to open a market, or if you have a discussion with a new customer, you have to prepare a plan how to do it, and otherwise you will fail. You cannot go in and just say, okay, let's try. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe you're happy, you're successful, then it's good, but mostly not. So you have to prepare your plan. That's on the horse. It's really essential. And I think this is really something, this learning process and this planning process, and then also the execution in the course when you're riding. This is then the action. This is absolutely you can apply this to business. Absolutely, one-to-one.
Well, now, with all this success behind you, obviously, if you would go back to the early 90s, when you started building what we know as Straumann today, What advice would you give to your younger self?
There is only one thing which I would say is play it again. Casablanca, Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman. So just play it again. Do it again. Do it again. Be open. Take risk. Just go. Just go for it. I would do it the same way.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What legacy do you want to leave behind?
Maybe there is no legacy. There's only just to say, if you want to do something, just do it. Mm-hmm. Just do it. If you have to feel, if you feel there's something which you can change, if there's something which you can influence to bring it in the right direction, if you are ready to take risk, just do it. Mm-hmm. Just do it, and take the risk. And okay, if it fails, okay, then you have to learn. If it goes good, if it goes well, nice, then you have to continue. Just go for it.
And I think to close, maybe the last question I would have is that if you were to have dinner with anyone, what would be this person be and why?
There are many of them. There are many of them. But I think I would ask my grandfather and my father just to be interested to know if we achieved our goal, living one culture, living a company culture, living a family culture, to having this discussion. And of course, I would also be interested in what they are thinking, if we are doing the right thing at the Straumann Group, if we are going the right way. And for sure, I mean, just to philosophize a little bit on culture, that would be also nice to have a discussion with my father. So I think I will go for that.
Thanks a lot, Thomas. Really appreciated
Guillaume.
That moment together.
You're welcome.
Then I think we are going to close this first episode. And if you have enjoyed this first episode, follow me on LinkedIn and stay tuned. Our next guest will also bring a whole new take on the cultural side. Thank you.